Hey guys, welcome to NFL Uncorked, episode 2, take 2. I'm Lakeisha Westland, and this is the beautiful, intelligent, funny,
Ooh, keep
one
going.
of the
Keep
most
going.
badass women working in sports today, Colleen Wolfe, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, everybody. What's up?
All right, so before we start talking about you, let's somewhat kind of explain to the audience why this is
We're going to pull the curtain
why
back.
this is take 2.
I know. Well, take 1 involved a little too much uncorking of wine. So
1.5 bottles to be exact.
yeah, so we did the whole episode, and then we watched it, and we were like,
Gotta do over. Like
That's not gonna
We'll
work.
show a little bit certain things because it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. So just a little bit. We'll give you a little bit.
Thank God you didn't put that out.
Yeah. So the thing with this YouTube video is I wanted to showcase dope women working in sports. So
Like you.
Oh,
Hey.
thank you. All right. But Colleen, tell us how you got into the sports business. I know you mentioned it was radio.
It was radio. That's where I started, but I never planned on getting into sports ever. When I was applying to colleges, I applied with my art portfolio. I wanted to go to art school. Like every single school I sent my art to, and then I ended up at Drexel, and they didn't have an art program that I directly applied to, so they were like, I don't know, just do a year of something else, burn your electives. So they were like, communications is pretty easy, do that.
Yeah.
And as soon as I started my classes, I was like, this is real easy, so I'm gonna keep doing this for a minute. And at Drexel, you do 6 months of school and 6 months of work. So when it came time to do my first internship, I ended up getting a job at the local sports radio station in Philly, which was just on the AM dial there. That's how old I am now. It was AM radio that I started in. What the heck?
Yeah.
So
It's still around though.
that's true. I started interning for the morning show, which was just like, and it's still on the air. It's this crazy Philadelphia sports talk station show, and they would send me out to do wild things where I would collect money for Terrell Owens during his contract dispute because he said he couldn't feed his children. So they like dressed me up in sandwich board with a megaphone and put me on a street corner with like a Salvation Army bell at 6 o'clock in the morning. From the minute I walked into the studio and realized that I could do it for a living, that was it. That was the end. So it was sort of a challenge for myself because I was really behind at that point. Never in my life had this been on my radar, and all of a sudden one day I was like, oh my God, this is what I want to do. How do I do it? Where do I start? And so I just ended up every single day reading the sports section, listening to sports talk radio, just watching games nonstop, and like little by little I just kept hustling and trying to get more and more jobs. And so my first official job, because that was my internship at the radio station, but my first official job was actually for a news and politics show where I was an intern and then production assistant and then associate producer. And then from there, I jumped into sports and was a booking producer.
And that was when I remember you telling a funny story about your first time in the men's locker room and how you were just outside like, okay.
Oh my God.
I can do this.
So I drove over and I'm like, I don't even know what door to go in. I don't know where the media entrance, where the players are going in. So I figure it out and I'm walking through the NovaCare complex and I get to the locker room and it's media availability, but I'm not sure because I don't see anybody else around. The hallways are completely empty. And so I was standing outside the locker room doors and said to myself, this is your job now. You got to go in and do it. Like, grow a set of balls and figure it out. And so I remember standing in front of the door, holding on to the handle and being like, okay. And I opened it up and went in. And it was fine.
Yeah.
But before was psyching myself out so bad, what if it isn't media availability? What if I walk in and all of the players are like, what are you doing in here? Get out. Yeah. Your head just plays crazy mind games with yourself. And so I went in and it was like I had to have an out-of-body experience. Like I was acting or something.
I loved when you told me that earlier.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool because sometimes when you're not used to certain situations, like, you know what? you got to act like you're doing it.
Right.
You know what?
I'm playing this role
Yep.
today. Today, I am a super confident person that's just going to go up to these players and strike up some cool conversation and then be like, hey, come on the show for free. So, I did it. Thank God. But that job allowed me to really network and meet a ton of people, and then I just kind of kept getting job after job, all in Philly. And a lot of it was behind the scenes. I edited my own stuff. I used to build cameras and line produce and build graphics and wrote all my own scripts.
Which is a good thing to do, especially if you want to get into this business. The more
Yeah.
things that you know how to do, you're more valuable.
Right.
You know?
And you understand how
Yes.
everything works. So you don't walk into a show a half hour before it airs and ask if you can blow everything up because you had this grand idea. Like, it just
Producers
doesn't
saying,
work
hell
that way.
to the no.
Exactly.
That ain't happening.
Yeah.
Been there before.
I know, it's the worst. So I worked, before I came to NFL Network, I worked at Fox 29 in Philly. And I did nights and weekends, and I was their sports anchor and reporter. And that's where I really learned how to do everything, because a lot of times, sometimes I didn't even have an intern to help me log games. And so I would come in the morning and set all my game records, watch the games, log when highlights happened, stack my rundown, build it, figure out what stories I wanted to put in there and when I wanted to run them in the time that I had. And then I would start cutting video and building graphics and writing everything. And sometimes I would run out to do a tease for sports, like, oh, find out what happened or who said this coming up next. And games would be going on, so I would run back into the sports department and cut a new fresh set of highlights, push them, and then run back out in time to do the whole damn thing. And they didn't have anybody to run prompter, so the scripts that I wrote myself, we had a pedal on the floor that we would use. And sometimes that would go backwards. And so you would have to just start ad-libbing anyway.
I've seen those pedal things and tried to use that before, and it's just like
in
that,
heels,
no,
standing in heels. So I'm on one foot balancing like a bird. It was crazy, but it helped me so much in what I do now. So it was...
Which is...
So now I'm at NFL Network with you.
Yeah.
And I host Thursday Night Football, which is so much fun.
Last year was her first year, and she freaking killed it. Oh,
Thank you.
you did, seriously, girl.
It was
that's my girl.
It was so awesome. There were so many stadiums I had never been to, and to be able to do a show on the road that's live, on remote, with a live crowd around you, so you never know what's going to happen, and then 3 or 4 wild cards sitting next to me at the desk. I have no idea what Michael Irvin's going to do, or Steve
No
Smith.
one ever does.
Exactly.
Either of them.
But that's where I thrive. I love when everything goes off the rails. I love when chaos is introduced to a show, because that's when it gets interesting. Otherwise, when you're doing a show that is formulaic and predictable, and you talk, now you talk, now you talk, I get bored.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what time is it? I check out.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm checking out, everybody else is checking out. So I loved it. So I do Thursday Night Football, and I'm so excited to get to go to Denver this year, Mile High. That's a stadium I've never been to. I like checking these off the box, or checking the box for all of these, because last year I had never been to Arrowhead, which was awesome.
I've been to Arrowhead once.
Wasn't it crazy?
I loved it. Like, the setup of the stadium is just... I love it.
Yeah, and the fans are so amazing there.
Oh, yeah.
The tailgating scene is
Stop.
incredible.
Tailgate. And I love the 2 stadiums next together. Like, and even at the tailgate, I was there for a Chiefs-Rams game, and like all the fans were like still super nice. Like, oh
They're
my
cool.
gosh, it was so much fun.
It's not like you go to some cities.
Yeah.
Not like Philadelphia or anything. Everybody's really cool when you wear an opposing jersey there. Very welcoming and open.
Yeah.
But Chief Stadium, you drive in, and a mile out you start smelling all of the barbecue and all of the delicious food, which I mean, let's be real, a lot of the reason I'm excited about these different cities is because of the food. The food is
Can't blame me for that. I'd be doing the same thing.
Oh, it's great. So I do that, and then also Good Morning Football Weekend, which is on Saturdays now this year. No more Sundays. Sundays is done.
Snap.
But we're still doing Saturdays.
Okay.
And that's at NFL Films, which is out in Jersey. So
One thing we need to mention is you she's all over. Like, I don't know how she does it. Like, you're literally always in the air.
Always, always. I'm like that George Clooney movie.
Yes.
It's so true. It's 3 flights a week during the season. So
Insane.
I'm flying out of LA on Wednesdays to go whatever city Thursday Night Football is in. Then I do Thursday. Friday I'm flying to Philly to do the Saturday show. And then Saturday I'm out back in LA. And then just rinse and repeat. I get to keep all the miles though, so that's cool.
I'm just excited you have Sundays now, girl.
That's
gonna make a huge difference.
I am so pumped.
And you get to watch the games. Because she'll be in the air and she's like, she lands and like, wait, this person was injured. Like this, like they won this game, or it. Oh man.
Because if the internet doesn't work
Yeah.
on the flight, then I am just in this weird time capsule. And when I land, so much has happened. We spend all week talking about all of the possibilities and all of these matchups and all of the news. And this person said this, and then the game happens, and so much goes on in such a short period of time. And it's like, wait a second, Blake Bortles beat Drew Brees? Hold up.
No.
What? Crazy things happen. The headlines are insane when it's just a barrage of them at once. So sometimes that's kind of a weird way it's always a weird way to consume the games. But if the internet is working, then I just sit on Twitter and watch everybody's reaction, or I've figured out a way to stream Game Pass, which is really awesome.
Game Pass is a lifesaver, yo. All the games.
Dude, last year when the Eagles...
One quick thing.
Okay.
You have not taken a sip of that.
Okay,
this
yes.
is
Should we
NFL
cheers?
Uncorked, so
Cheers.
cheers.
What if I just spilled it all over you? Cheers.
I'm just over here like drinking. Yep. I'm like, wait a minute. Start getting a buzz soon.
I forget what game... Oh, it was the double doink game. When the Eagles were playing the Bears, and sorry, Chicago fans, I was in the air, and I was in the middle of the aisle on my phone playing for everybody who were Eagles. There was a ton of Eagles fans for some reason.
Standing up and like...
Standing up. I got yelled at by the flight attendants multiple times, and they were like, ma'am, you're gonna have to sit down. And I was like, but wait! And that game, that ending was so insane.
Insane.
And I was so happy, I could have probably started running up and down the aisles if I wasn't already on their radar.
That's how you get your ass dragged like out of a plane. We don't need that.
So I sat right back down. Yeah.
I'm a fashion girl. You're one of my favorite on air, like style wise.
Thank you.
Where's it coming from? Like, who's doing all that? Is it you? Is it a stylist?
It's a collab. As I sit here in my skater t-shirt.
She quit playing, girl. You know you look cute.
It's definitely a team effort. So I pick out a lot of it because I'm really particular about what I wear on air. I'm not going to be in some frilly dress. I'm not going to be in something super uncomfortable when I'm out in the field. I'm not going to be walking around on a football field in heels.
No.
That's insane.
Wedges, maybe.
Wedges, exactly.
Wedges.
But even when I do Thursday night, I always have a pair of Vans or Converse with me. So if we have to do a standing shot, I'll throw my heels on, and then as soon as we're done, I'm like, done with this, put on my tennis shoes, and that's it, and get right back behind the desk.
This is NFL Uncorked. Cheers. You need to take another drink.
Okay,
take another drink.
Twist my arm.
So, since this is NFL Uncorked, what storylines are you looking forward to the most headed into training camp? What do you want to see?
First of all, I'm so excited for Hard Knocks. How can you not be excited about this? The Raiders? Right now?
Oh, man.
If it was any other team, I would be so upset.
Oh, yeah.
I am so pumped about this. We get peak Gruden and Mike Mayock. Oh my God.
Business is booming.
Dude, it's going to be the best ever. There will be so many things that happen. And every year I get so excited for Hard Knocks as soon as I hear the opening credit music. Like
It's time.
I know.
Season's basically here.
They do such a good job of making it super dramatic too.
Oh, yeah.
Because whenever you go to training camp, it is boring. It's so boring.
I've been there before.
The most exciting part for fans is when the guys come onto the field and off the field, because there's a chance that you can get an autograph or a selfie. But otherwise, it's like, okay, cool. They're doing this drill. They're doing that. And look, there's only so much you can glom off of guys when they don't have pads on. Like, there's so many rules now that you're kind of just out there hanging out for a lot of it.
Now, I don't know about you, but Hard Knocks, each year, that team, I'm like, they're in my heart a little bit. I'm rooting for them a little bit. I don't
Dude,
it's gonna be hard for me to fall in love with the Raiders. I'm sorry. We'll see.
Really?
Yeah. They did too much crazy stuff last year and getting rid of Mac and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
They've never been
to twist my
a likable team, though.
No.
That's one that you're right, because even when they did Hard Knocks with the Bucks, I fell in love with Gerald McCoy.
Team.
I mean, there's always those guys that you kind of cling on to that the producers do. Yeah. But I could see this year there's so many personalities in that building that there's going to be I love the third string guys that are trying to like break through.
Then you're like, are they gonna make the team? Are they?
This will be a big test. If they can make the Raiders likable and relatable and just America's darling. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what you got.
Cheers to that. And drink.
Yeah, okay. I'm being hazed.
I just feel like because I'm asking the questions, you give the answers.
I'm talking.
I'm drinking a lot.
Talk. Right in my mouth, not drinking wine. Yeah.
One that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
We mentioned the Browns already. I don't mean to. This is not a Browns show, but so many new faces there.
I know.
Like I'm really rooting for them this year.
I wonder how Odell will be in Cleveland, going from New York to Cleveland.
You saw the car. Like, how can you not? It's this bright orange. I don't even know what it is. I don't know cars very well, but you're going to see that in Cleveland.
I love how flashy he is. In Cleveland.
Yeah.
I mean, the NFL...
See that going down the highway.
The football gods, they have a sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be good. I mean, obviously, the Browns are the off-season darlings, too.
And I also wonder, too, with Baker Mayfield having, like, you know, his rookie year done with, and now he's kind of, like, got a little, like, even more, like, swagger confidence.
He's the guy.
How is that going to be with, like, the other teammates? Because I know with the Duke guy, I'm having a brain fart right now with his last name.
Daniel Jones?
No. Running back.
Oh, Duke Johnson?
Yes.
Yeah.
And how, like, he's, you know, and Baker Mayfield's giving all these, like, comments and stuff, and, like, the veterans are just like, hold on, little guy, like, just chill, like, let Duke do his thing. Oh, yeah. But it's like, you love that, but would that cause, like, a problem, like, eventually, maybe? Like,
I don't know.
Knows?
I think that it helps that they have Jarvis Landry and Odell together.
Jarvis is like the not little, but like the big brother of it all.
Yeah, and that's how it was when Odell and Jarvis were at LSU. Mm-hmm. Jarvis was the one who was doing all the talking. And so I think that's going to be great for Odell because he won't have to necessarily be that guy. Yeah. He will be that guy, but I think that having Jarvis there will probably make Odell feel a lot more comfortable. Oh, yeah. That's with Baker. Oh my God, I really want them to be good.
Me too.
It just would be so nice to have them not be bad and for us to not have to constantly talk about the same thing.
The Rams did it.
I just want to see the turnaround. That's it. I know when the Rams did it, it was like, what? The Rams are doing this?
I got my chest out, man. Actually, no.
What?
This may not even make the cut, but I was working in features today, and I'm working on this package, I'm producing this package for inside the training camp, and I'm going through like all this Patriots like highlights and stuff from the year, and it's just like, doesn't end well for me.
Yeah, the Super Bowl was tough.
That was darn Patriots.
I know. I remember leaving the stadium after the Super Bowl.
I cried.
And just thinking how just torn apart I would feel if it was the year before when the Eagles won.
Girl.
I don't mean that to be like, rah, but it's just the Patriots of all teams. You just want your team to beat them.
I don't want to talk about this no more.
This is sad.
Like,
all of a sudden, this is sad Uncorked.
No, it's not supposed to be like this. Okay, Another thing that I'm looking forward to with training camp is there's so many there's so let me
She's had so much wine.
Just a little bit. There's so many rookie crew What the hell? So many rookie QBs this year again that I am excited for to watch and see if they are any good. There.
I know. You know you got to cut that in with a record scratch, skirt. All right.
Tamposi, Erica Tamposi, help me please.
I'm super pumped about, not really super pumped, but I feel like the one that is going to be the most watched is obviously Eli and Daniel Jones. That is going, every single thing they do is going to be under the microscope. Like, oh, well, this person took this many reps today. Honestly, I feel like the Giants drafted Daniel Jones a little high. I don't think I'm alone in this.
No, not at all.
But I'm not sure what direction they're going to go, but I know that that's going to be something that dominates the headlines, and I'm sure we'll be surprised because I just feel like it's going to be a really slow learning curve. I feel like for a lot of quarterbacks it is, but I think it's going to be tough.
Now, Josh Rosen isn't a rookie, but that's one that I'm interested in too. The QB situation down there. It's like, I feel bad for the kid, so it's like I'm rooting for him just with the whole situation and how it went down in Arizona and everything, but it's just...
Honestly, I bet this helps him.
Oh, yeah. That's gotta put more fire under his butt. It's just like, that's just in...
And you're in Miami, too, so it's a nice situation just in terms of the city. Not that Arizona's bad, because it's great, but...
No Miami, though.
Josh Rosen, he's got to come back and redeem himself. If he doesn't here, then he never will.
And then Arizona all of a sudden looks like Masters and like Wizards and stuff, because everyone's just like, what are you doing? Are you sure? Like, what? You just drafted him? Like, what?
This has to work out for them,
because
otherwise Steve Keim is screwed.
He gone.
Back-to-back years, you take a top 10 quarterback?
He gone.
That's rough right there.
Gone. It's over for you. Can't believe this has finally happened. Episode 2.
We did it.
I'm thinking
wait
maybe
until you see episode 1, the outtakes of it.
The outtakes of episode 2, take 1, and we are gonna. I might do like a little montage. We'll see towards the end. So after this, watch a little montage toward the end. But
you should put a counter up of how many times I say like in the first episode.
I probably did it on this episode too.
I did too, but.
And hopefully I'm looking at the camera the right.
There were a lot of problems that we had with the first time around. It was
only my episode number 2. I tried my best.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is episode number 3?
No. This is still episode number 2. This is take 2. What the heck?
Cheers!
Thank you so much for joining me.
Of course.
Like this, I'm excited. So thank you so much, Colleen.
Everybody should do it. Everybody needs to come on with Lakeisha.
Yes, and be ready for episode number 3.
Yeah.
Cheers. Wine glass.
Cheers. This is like
cheers.
Wine number 7.
The first episode, I barely talked about the wine, and normally
we drank a lot of it. So
on accident.
I feel well versed in this. Pinot Noirs, and then I was like, I don't know, like maybe I need more body in my life, and then I moved to a Melback and was like, ooh, this is complex. I like it. You boys there together, whatever, that could work too. We'll workshop that one.
We'll do that
one. Figure it out.
I'm so happy for Mark and Mark Sessler and Nick Shook. They Mark works with us now. Nick Shook works for the Browns. Like it's a perfect situation.
When did Shook go to the Browns?
Stop playing. Oh my gosh.
Yo, Shook, congratulations. That is awesome.
Yeah, he's a writer for them now.
I didn't know that.
It's like,
really?
Oh yeah,
Wait, does he live in Cleveland again?
He's in Cleveland now. Already
When
moved.
did he go? When did he come
We're
back?
down to playing softball. It's
I love Shook.
Yeah, and he's so happy there. Like it's the perfect fit. Like,
oh my god, he works like officially for the Browns. Like
the Browns have been retweeting.
Shout out Nick Shook. Check him out on the Browns website. It's gonna be crazy. Because I was like, yo, the most baller move ever would be to ride Daisy May up in Nashville on the red carpet.
Yeah.
Like, don't ask anybody. Do not say that I suggested this, but just show up. Like, they're not gonna tell you no.
And it's Nashville.
Oh my gosh, like, put a hat on, get your boots, like have Daisy May in with her best braids, like do whatever. Like she could be in like metallic whatever. I know, sequins, like think about what you could do. Like, hey, I'm here with my date, Daisy. Like, what now?
I love that. That's super cute.
I know.
Now, is Steve Smith really as like raw as he comes across on there?
He is, but he's like, he is, I love Steve so much. Like, he is such a great guy to work with, and everything that you see from Steve is the real Steve. Like, he isn't...
I can appreciate that. I love
turning anything on. Like, that's just, like, how he is. He is real. He will tell you exactly how he feels. And he is also, like, there's certain things that I wouldn't expect him to, like, say or do. Like, when we were doing Good Morning Football weekend, or no, I just,
Weekend
it
edition.
automatically, like, rolls out. We were doing Good Morning Football one week, and he was talking about on the show how he makes, like, jam preservatives, like, with his like, family. And I was like, wait, what? And I think he gets, like, Southern Living as like a subscription. Now, if this is inaccurate and Steve comes back to me, none of this actually happened. I didn't say any of this, but I'm like pretty sure in the old like mind vault that that's back there, and that he makes like homemade preservatives and jams, which I was like, what? That's amazing, and you need to market these.
Steve Smith, I would buy your jam.
Right? I would too. Like, all of a sudden, you're like, oh, cool. Like, here's, like, picnic jams. And then it's just, like, Steve Smith jam. And I'm like, yeah, I want that jam. That jam looks awesome. I bet that jam is fire.